let's do this though. Let's talk about guys who actually played in the triangle offense. What did Kobe say about it? And let me make sure I got everything. I mean, it's just unreal. But I want to hear what Kobe said about it. Kobe talked about it several times. Shaq talked about it. Phil talked about it. Jordan talked about it. Pippen talked about it. Like, there's a lot of people, man. But let's hear what Kobe Bryant said about the triangle when he was asked about it on the Knucklehead podcast.
The triangle offense, like, this is when I got to the league, I knew y'all play. Like, I felt like if I got traded to the Lakers, I already know the play.
Right.
Remember, Steve Nash said, if it's predictable, you can stop it. And the triangle is predictable. Right. Here's Darius Mara saying, I knew what y'all was going to do. I knew the plays, but we couldn't stop it.
Like, it's one play. I got a couple of side out of bounds plays, but y'all run this one play. Like, in today's era, how today's play, how today kids play.
Yeah.
You think the triangle will work in this?
Do you have the right people to teach it? Yeah. Like, because
y'all slow the game. You had to play at y'all pace.
Yeah.
No matter how
but the
fast,
triangle can be sped up too, right? So it conforms to the talent that you have. My 13-year-old daughter's team runs the triangle, right? But it's like, the thing about the triangle offense, which makes it so deadly, is that it gives you a structure. And within that structure, you have complete freedom. And so even though defensively, you know what it is, the sequence that we're executing, we have counters to it.
Counter to everything.
And we all know them. It's hard to beat that.
Yeah.
He said, even if you know what we're doing or what sequence we're running, we have counters, not one counter, counters to every sequence, depending on what the defense is going to do. So everything is already accounted for. Switching, going over screens, going under screens, overplaying the passing lanes, sagging off in the passing lanes, fronting the post, backing the post, three-quarter guarding the post. Like, all of that stuff is already accounted for, right? And it's basically regular basketball concepts you learn in college. Like, we know against a zone that the most vulnerable spot on the zone is that free throw line. Anything in the middle, even with a press, the middle is vulnerable. But in the zone and half court, that free throw line is a very good, nice little sweet spot. But you just can't stand and camp out the free throw line. So it's more beneficial for a slasher to flash to the free throw line. Like, you got to go there quick. Like, when the ball rotates to the corner or to the arc, there should be once that zone moves and now those guys is guarding the ball, got their back turned, that big man should quickly flash to the free throw line with his hands high, ready for the pass, right? Because you could get it there, turn, and as a jump shot, you might not be able to get a dribble off, but you turn and there's a jump shot there, or there's a turn and whoever's on that block, if you're fronting the post in that zone, like, because you don't want to get caught behind the post player in the zone because you got to get out to the corner. So you're probably going to be fronting that post, maybe. But either way it goes, once that big man flashes to the free throw line, what that big man that was in the post supposed to do is seal whoever was guarding him. And now he's got inside position for a rebound if that big man missed that jump shot, or it can be a lob right there in a high-low situation, right? So that's why you seen Draymond, Jordan, Dennis Rodman, they used to flash to their elbow or to their free throw line a lot. There was another action in that triangle offense that you did. Like, it's just so many things. Like, even some of the screens they set off ball, it ain't no play that they running. It's just that simple basketball concepts will let you know that screen is there to be set. You could do certain things. It's just, listen, it's just good basketball.
Right, because Phil can start out and say we want to run center opposite. That's the sequence we want to start with. But now if you deny the wing on that center opposite, that plays off. Now we have counters that come around that.
I used to hate when Robert Orr used to come up to the box, free throw line, grab the ball, and you back cut.
Yeah.
I used to be looking for that back cut every time.
Yeah, that's the backdoor step, right? So, but that helped me game plan.
Yeah.
So, these players now play accidental basketball. It drives me and Phil crazy because it's all penetrating pitch. You may make the shot, you may not. You have no idea who's going to be open or whatever. It's accidental basketball. We play basketball with purpose. If I got the ball, if Derek Fisher's on the wing, I'm at the top. I know by scouting reports that you guys like to deny the top.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Deny the top. I'll move up a little bit more, drag you out. Here comes Ori stepping in the hole. Catch it. Here I go back door. There's the drop. Off I go.
Yeah.
Right. So it's playing those sequences and understanding what the defense is going to do against it that made them dangerous. That's why Chicago was so dangerous, because they knew how Utah was going to play these actions. And then they all 5 of them took advantage of it.
And they always keep you with spacing.
Always.
Like all the time. You'll never lap over each other.
No, always. They were really big on, having 10 to 15 foot spacing. Always.
So that's Kobe talking about it. Now, LeBron and Steve Nash, who never played in the triangle offense, right? LeBron and Steve Nash, who never played in the triangle offense, they're saying it won't work because it's too much spacing on offense on the other offensive end. Somehow the offense is going to play defense on the triangle offense. Like that's what they said. They said that the spacing that the teams are doing will stop the triangle offense. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I'm gonna say it again. The spacing that other teams are doing is going to stop the triangle offense. The other team spacing on offense is going to stop the triangle offense, right? That was the first thing they said. Then the second thing they said is it's too much switching in today's game. Switching will stop the triangle offense. And then Steve Nash, the third thing he said is it's too predictable. When did it become predictable? Was it always predictable? Because nobody was stopping it. 11 rings off the triangle offense. 11. That's more than LeBron and Steve Nash and everybody Steve Nash played with all put together. 11 rings off the triangle. When did it become predictable? And even if it is predictable, how does that equate to it being easy to stop? So you take their words or you listen to Kobe's words, who said, yeah, even if you knew what we was doing, we got counters off of it. Multiple. We're going to get our shot. We play with a purpose. We don't play accidental basketball. We don't play drive and kick, penetrate and kick basketball for 4 straight quarters. We don't do that because that's predictable. Number one. Number two, it's accidental. It doesn't even, you don't even know what's going to happen, where you're going to get your shot from. You at the mercy of the defense. I just think that's dumb though. I really think that's dumb. Let's hear some more people. Let's hear what Sasha Vujacic, who won a championship, 2 championships with Kobe. He did 2 or 3 podcasts this year. One was with Tony Allen and Zach Randolph. I forgot the name of their podcast. Out the Mud, right? Nobody knew Sasha Vujacic was this good of an interview. So I advise y'all to go watch that interview. Very informative, very good. That's why I'm using his soundbite. Then after he did that and that interview did numbers, Byron Scott was like, "Man, I'm a Laker. How was the first podcast I seen you on? Not my podcast. How was it there?" So he went on Byron Scott's podcast, another very good one, right? And then he went on a couple of more after that. But I hope to see him in broadcasting soon because he was pretty good. I gotta be honest about that. He was pretty good. So here's Sasha.
Triangle offense or not, like if you look at the NBA today, everybody's playing the same exact way, and it's becoming annoying. The reason why we were so successful is because we were different than anybody else. There's no system that it's even close to the one we had. But what you need someone to teach that system properly, and you need a player like Kobe, somebody that's a franchise player. That's, for I always said, MJ and Kobe, two GOATs forever. Right. If you would have been with someone like that could actually explain it to you, give it to you, even in the middle of your career, you would adjust because you would understand what it means to be on the basketball court and playing the right way. Like there are very few teams right now that are playing the right way. So when you ask me, I think the right way playing basketball forget it, might be called triangle, might be called something else, like just playing the right way. Always since the beginning. The players were the important ones, but at least they had people there that they kind of trusted. Okay, if I want to win, I actually better have a good coach, the coach that has been there, won, lost, and wants to give me something, not just to survive, but to actually go on a marathon with me to help me win a championship. But then again, if that player doesn't want a championship, if he wants just for his individual brand to grow on and off the court, so you got to find
that
killers.
Part right there,
so you got to find killers.
That's what today's game is. It's all like my brand. You know what I'm saying? How can I build my brand? You know? That's kind of how you don't see it. That's why you ain't seen no back-to-back championships lately.
There's no dynasties. But I love it because you understand that. You play for a great franchise, and winning back-to-back, there's nothing like it. And I'm not taking your 2008 away. You guys won, but I was always told by the greats, you got to confirm it. If you win, you got to confirm it. That's why for me, in watching now, there are no back-to-backs. There are no like three-peats. Like Golden State was the only team that had a chance, but they still had to bring players,
So look, I like what he said. Toward the end, I let that play because he said something toward the end that I'll probably do a show on later, man. But I've already mentioned that before, man. Like, you don't see back-to-backs that often. Like, you see one and dones. Giannis one and done. Jokic one and done. Kawhi in Toronto one and done. Steph one and done unless he had a super team with KD on it. Then he could go back-to-back and like Sasha said, almost got a three-peat. But without KD, it's one and done. He's one and done twice. Right. You know what I'm saying? He had two separate one and dones, but no repeats, can't get back. It's very hard to have a player that's so committed like Kobe and Mike that wants to go and continuously go back to back. I don't think Shaq could have done it without Kobe. Not no back to back. Maybe he could have got one, but back to back, no, that's a different type of engine. That's a different type of drive. That's not take the whole summer off and then come back and get in shape in the second month of the season. And while I'm playing. No, that's not what Shaq had a luxury of having a guy that can go for 40 or 50 while he played out of shape and lollygag and then got ready a quarter way through the season. Right. That's not going to get you back to back. That's the reason why Barkley couldn't get rings. Michael Jordan's critique on Barkley is he's never going to win because he's not committed enough to stay in shape. That's what he said. That's what Shaq was. Shaq was a 7-foot Barkley. Without a Michael Jordan level player like Kobe that was really ready at all times, Shaq wouldn't have multiple rings, man. He wouldn't have 4. He probably would have 1 or 2. Probably 1 in LA and then, probably would have went somewhere else and team hop and got another one, man. But, once he got out of shape, he got in shape 1 year for Miami, and then after that, he couldn't repeat with Miami. Right. So it takes a different type of person to be able to repeat and three-peat and all that stuff, right? So, but nah, he said that, yeah, it would absolutely work. You just got to have the right person to teach it. And that's the whole thing. You got to have the people that can teach it. You got to have the coach that can teach it and players willing to learn it. They tried to teach it in New York, but Melo didn't want to learn it. Melo did not want to learn it, and nobody else that played there wanted to learn it, right? Shaq talked about it.
It's not hard. You just have to be able to sacrifice. You gotta like come off the ball. A lot of Knicks players, they just dribble between their legs, and it's okay, but it won't get you to that next level. With the triangle, the ball is constantly moving. The defense is second guessing what you're trying to do, and it definitely works. And I know people will say, "Oh yeah, of course it works with Michael and Scotty and Shaq and Kobe. It's easier." But New York has some similar players who can really fit in that triangle system. They just have to sacrifice and just run it. If you run it, it's worked.
Yeah, well, it's obviously worked for a lot of different players, and the Knicks for some reason haven't run a lot of it. They run styles of it, but it's not really.
Because they dribble too much. And they shoot too much and they don't pass. Sorry.
I love that this comment popped on screen as Shaq was having a conversation from 12 years or whatever years ago when Phil was in New York. And the conversation was about why isn't it working in New York? Because Phil Jackson got hired as the president of basketball operations, and his first hire, he tried to get Steve Kerr because he wanted to implement the triangle offense in New York. Steve Kerr took the Golden State job, right? So he ended up hiring Derek Fisher, so Derek Fisher can teach the triangle offense in New York. And there was several mishaps, and I guess there was a friction between the front office and Carmelo Anthony as the star player, because Carmelo didn't run the triangle, and he spoke about it publicly multiple times, and him and Phil Jackson had a riff, and then that's when Phil Jackson started saying stuff bad about Carmelo, and then that's when LeBron James butted in, and then LeBron, and then Phil Jackson said something about LeBron James and his posse trying to take up for Pat Riley in Miami after you get what I'm saying. So I remember all of this happened. I don't know how old you are like work, but bro, I come on, man, like know what you're talking about. Especially if you'll come on this platform, know what you're talking about. But yeah, they absolutely tried to run it in New York, and that's what Shaq was talking about. But yeah, I should block your ass for being dumb and saying that comment and being wrong, loud and wrong. I should block you. Right. So Shaq spoke about it, Sasha spoke about it, Kobe spoke about it, Steve Kerr spoke about it.
That was pretty cool. Phil, one of my mentors, the basketball education and coaching education I received from him and Tex Winter, I think about them literally every day. We do drill work and practice that we've been doing for 11 years that goes straight back to my days in Chicago. Our offense, a lot of it is based on the triangle. Watching Phil over the years, handle players and the relationships he built with them, pretty special to see him, offer those congratulations. That was very moving for me.
So that's Steve Kerr saying that, hey, look, man, Phil is still my mentor, and I think about them daily as I do things that I learned from them, including the triangle. Like we run a version of the triangle here in Golden State. Championship team. So add their 4 rings to it. So 11 with Phil, 4 with Steve Kerr. That's 15 championships. It might be more than the Celtics. So you do the math, and this triangle is working now. Even Gilbert Arenas spoke about it.
Like, people think the triangle helped MJ. No, the triangle hurt MJ. MJ was the type of dude that he can get it his own. The triangle was to make sure everyone else played the right way. And eventually that ball gonna fire.
And everybody touched the ball.
Yeah.
We have to run a triangle with the Knicks. So
it's everybody touches the ball. Everybody touches the ball. Everybody get a feel for it. Because if not, no one's going to touch it. Ant-Man to do crazy work because you can put him in the post a lot. Denver runs a little bit of that shit. Giannis can benefit from playing in a triangle. Luka,
long split.
Oh my
Throw that
God.
bitch in the long, man. Listen, dog.
Yeah, so there you go. Last thing I'm going to do before I open the phone lines up, y'all, is I want to show y'all just a little sequence. And the interesting thing about this sequence and the very interesting thing about this is that it's Dennis Rodman and the bench players from Chicago on the floor running the triangle, getting a shot for Bill Winnington, a jump shot at that. 2 of them, right? They ran it. They was unsuccessful in getting a bucket because Bill Winnington missed the jump shot, but it was a very good shot set up. He missed it. Offensive rebound got tapped back out to the 3-point line. And then Steve Kerr ran it again on the other side and got the same exact jump shot. And this was all within, they couldn't take no more than 8 seconds off the shot clock. And I only seen no more than 4 possessions each time they ran it. Not 4 possessions, no more than 4 dribbles each time that they ran it. Very interesting, man. So they on the floor with Randy Brown, Steve Kerr, Dennis Rodman, Bill Winnington, and Judd Buechler. That's the five that was on the floor. Now you tell me if these five players was on the floor right now in this era, and they was running the high screen and roll offense that everybody like to run. Can you tell me how they go get buckets with that offense? With high screen and roll? So what the triangle did, you were able to get very good shots regardless who was on the floor. Right? It could be your bench and you could run that offense. And that's why everybody keep complaining about, oh man, Jokic don't have helps. Have you seen the Jokic on off minutes? What the plus minus is? Yes, because they run an offense that only Jokic can run. In order for you to run this offense, you have to be Jokic. So you created an offense that only works with Jokic on the floor, and then you wonder why the offense fails when Jokic goes sit down. That's not a plus. That's not something to brag about. That's an indictment on whoever implemented that offense. That's an indictment. That's not good. You're never supposed to implement an offense that only works with one person on the floor. That person could get hurt. That person can be tired. And that person might have to go sit down. That person can get in foul trouble. Like, I don't understand why we're bragging that the on-off minutes for Jokic is such a huge disparity. That's not a brag. Right? So let's see how you can get a shot when you run an offense versus running some, I don't know, some Jokic offense or some Luka offense or some Bron ball. All right, so you see Dennis Rodman with the ball right here. And they're about to form the triangle. You're going to see Judd Buechler run to the post, and you see Steve Kerr baseline running to the corner to form the triangle. Right, so there's Judd Buechler in the post. Rodman is going to look him off and go the other way. They formed the triangle, but Rodman rejected it. He didn't want to initiate it and go in the post at that time to Judd. So he threw it back to the top to Randy Brown, and they're running on the other side, and they're going to form the triangle on the other side, right? So now the ball goes over there. Randy Brown brings the ball there. It's going to go back up to the top to Steve Kerr, and then to the corner to Judd Buechler. Judd Buechler is going to look inside to Rodman in the post. The triangle is formed. He's not going to go to Rodman. He's going to go back to Steve Kerr because that's a better entry pass. As you see how close that pass was from the corner, the spacing wasn't quite right to make that pass. It would have made it a little harder. The on-ball defender could have got his hands on it, and it just would have been a crowd. So he threw it to Steve Kerr for a better angle. Now, who in their right mind want to go in the post to the Dennis Rodman? He's not even looking for his offense. But when you're running a real offense, it don't matter, right? So they're going to go in the post. There's the triangle being formed. They're going to go in the post. Rodman. Now, if you see, once Rodman got the ball in the post, this is what Draymond Green does in Golden State. As soon as Rodman got the ball in the post, there's two cutters. You see the baseline cut from Judd Buechler, and you see Steve Kerr cutting down the middle. That's that Chicago cut they was talking about. So what that does is the guy that's guarding Judd Buechler on the baseline, he's got to be ball you man. And he's not ball you man right now because he can't even see his man. He got his back turned, but he's afraid of giving up that back door because Rodman, if he's lagging, he could probably make that pass right there, depending on who that person is. But look at the guy that's guarding Bill Winnington on the weak side. He's cheating all the way into the paint because there's two cutters. Right. And if the defenders is not denying the ball well enough, that bounce pass, even if he wanted to force that bounce pass to Steve Kerr right now, the defender is not even looking. So that bounce pass could absolutely go there and it can get to Steve Kerr. That's why that guy on Bill Winnington is cheating to the inside because the inside is vulnerable to both of those cuts. Right. So both of those guys are cutting. And now I want y'all to think about at what point does switching disrupt this? Like Steve Nash said, oh man, if you switch, you just disrupt, you can stop the triangle offense. I want you to think about what's going to get switched. When are you switching at this point? and tell me how is it going to stop anything, right? So Steve Kerr is cutting, and he's going to go right to the man that's guarding Bill Winnington that's cheating to the inside and screen him for Bill Winnington to get a jump shot. So he screens Bill Winnington's man, right? They're going to show you it again, right? Let it play. Both of those guys are cutting. Steve Nash is cutting. Right? Then he sets that screen right there on Bill Winnington. Now they can switch that. So he got a jump shot and it was a brick. Judd Bushler bounced it out there. Watch, count the dribbles. 1, 2, 3, 4 dribbles. Now they're in a triangle. He took 4 dribbles. That's probably about 3 seconds off the shot clock. Now they're in a triangle again. They're going to get the same exact shot, but instead of Steve Nash directly screening, remember the last time Steve Nash cut, he went straight to Bill Winnington's man and screened his man. Look what he does this time. He screens the man that's guarding. It was actually a shadow screen. It looked like he was going to screen, but he really didn't get a piece of him. And then they went and kind of double screened for Bill Winnington to get the same jump shot. And I just want you to think you having to guard all these cuts and all these actions. When was the switching going to disrupt anything? And he got the same jump shot. He got the same exact jump shot both times. And I want you to think, what was going to stop that? These ain't even the superstars on the floor. These aren't even the superstars on the floor. Think about that. These aren't even the superstars. I'm going to let y'all keep looking at that. I got to go see if I can fix this camera over here really quick. All right. I got the camera working again. All right, so I'm gonna open the phone lines up, y'all. And y'all call and y'all tell me what y'all think, because I'm interested to know. And I also get into some of these comments. I got super chats that came in. It's not that serious. Thanks for the super chat. He said no sound. Oh yeah, we got that. Another super chat came in. Can't hear. I'm sorry about that, y'all. 4 minutes of me yapping, and we couldn't even get it popping, man. $5 from James Reed. Why doesn't LeBalco James just retire? I know why, because he would be irrelevant after 4 months. He's starting to look and sound extremely silly. Yeah, for sure, man. Every time he opened his mouth, I just don't understand this triangle offense expert thing, right? I don't get that part. Like, why you want to be an expert on the triangle offense? All right, the phone lines are open. Y'all can call in. Let me get to some more comments. Lightwork said Golden State run, Chicago cuts. We already talked about that. We got a caller from Utah. This might be Carl Malone. Hold on, let me see who this is. Caller, can you hear me? Is this Carl?
Yeah, man. Hey, yeah, this Carl. Nah, this ain't Carl, man. This Aaron. Hey, Mel, this Aaron G, man. What's up, man?
What's up? I ain't heard from you in a while. What's popping?
Not much. Been on vacation, bro. But Lord have mercy, man. Look, LeBron is giving the YouTube streets all kind of sound bites,
bro.
And his take on this triangle offense, the reason why he's acting like he knows it, but we know he'll never thrive in it because, for one, the triangle offense, when Jordan ran it, when Kobe ran it, either you had the defense cheating or they would send somebody to double. And it worked because with all the movement you had going on, if you went and you started cheating towards either Kobe or Jordan, or you actually sent the double, that's when that ball would swing. They knew that ball would swing. But then the question is, well, why would you send help? Why would you go double Jordan and Kobe? Well, they had footwork. And with that footwork, they could create their own shot back to the basket, face up. However they wanted to get that shot off, they could get it. You look at LeBron, he doesn't have any footwork. He doesn't have, his handles are mediocre. You could play LeBron straight up. So LeBron in the triangle offense, it wouldn't work because you wouldn't have to send nobody to go help on LeBron in the triangle offense. He just doesn't have the footwork. He doesn't have a go-to move. He doesn't have the back to the basket or anything that would require a defense to cheat or help. So I don't know why he's speaking on it because it wouldn't work with him.
Yeah. I mean, and maybe that will work, but it expose some of his weaknesses in his game. Right. Because he's unwilling to, I mean, you heard what Shaq said. He said but now he was criticizing Carmelo Anthony when he said this, but he said you gotta want to come off the ball. And even though we've seen not Carmelo, but LeBron come off the ball a little bit with Luka this season, right?
He can't really play. He can't really.
Right. Whenever it's time for him to get his buckets, he's still going to get the ball in his hand and be at the top of the key, utilizing a lot of time and a lot of dribbles and a lot of high screening rolls, which is not the triangle offense. I mean, you seen them just run it, and nobody really dribbled the ball, and they got two good shots. There was no dribble penetration. It was just a pass in the post and a couple of and a couple of cuts and a couple of off ball screens, and they got a good high percentage shot 2 times in a row doing it the same. You get what I'm saying? So imagine getting a high percentage shot every single time, based on how you run your offense versus high screen and roll. I mean, I'm dribbling the ball so many times, and then depending on what a double team come, I might be making a cross cut pass for a 3-point shooter. I mean, that's high turnover basketball.
And with the high turnover rate, you got the defense knowing, okay, this guy's going to dribble the ball down, and if he doesn't have the shot, he's going to be looking to kick it out. As a defender, I know how to play that. Let me go ahead and bait him into throwing that pass and just intercept the ball. I've seen that happen for the past few years with him, where you'll have certain guys on defense that actually bait him into throwing that ball to the corners, to the sides, because that's where he likes to throw the ball with that high screen and roll. Mm-hmm. He likes to throw the ball to the side, and I've seen players bait him into throwing that pass, and they just intercept it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So like, this mind the game. First, you got a coach who was a failure. He couldn't do anything with the star power he had, and you got a guy that really needs to retire.
That's
what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy, but I love it because it keeps you guys with material.
It sure do, because I would rather be talking about something else right now, man. But golly, man, like man, this man talking about the daggone triangle offense. I'm like, dude, like, bro, like why did you pick the triangle offense? This is the second time you try to talk about it on your podcast. Why do you keep trying to talk about the triangle offense, dude? You never played in it.
And man,
like make that make sense, man. You've never played in it. Why are you talking about it like you were some authority in this situation? That is insane to me, man.
Hey Mel, if you play that clip back too, if you play that audio back, notice how he likes to filibuster when he don't really know what he gonna say.
Yeah.
He'll start like repeating certain words and like and then when he finally gets to this point, it's like, what? That don't even make any sense. I thought you was going somewhere with this.
A lot of filibuster.
And
that boy, that boy said, yeah, it wouldn't work because I mean, Bill Winnington, Luke Longley, Horace Grant, Rodman, they didn't shoot threes. What? This
man, yo, man,
that's funny, man.
But they won six. They won 6 rings though.
Exactly.
They got 6 rings. They got 6 rings out of running triangle offense.
Yeah. Yeah. Call in
Kobe.
Call in light work. Hey, man. Hey, yeah. Hey, Aaron, thanks for the call. I'm gonna get some more calls in here, man.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. Then, brother.
Yeah.
All right.
Call in light work. I can't read all your comments, man, but you know, we can have a decent conversation for sure. Have a really good conversation. Is this my dog from Washington?
Come on, how you doing, man?
What's popping, man? What's your thoughts, man? How much of the show you caught so far?
I caught. So my thing, I thought I was tripping for a second, but I actually had it on pause. But so I kind of just basically when you're doing the interview and they're just talking about the triangle offense.
Okay.
So my big thing about why a lot of just teams and players they don't run the triangle offense right now is because, to be honest, it's not really ideal because how many coaches are really thinking about getting the ball out of their star players' hands. They want the star players mainly right now to be in control of most of the game. So and you have to have a really high skill set IQ to play in the triangle offense. You have to be a great off-ball player also. And to be honest, how many players right now have that? I can name like Steph Curry, KD, Kyrie,
Kawhi.
Nate, Kawhi,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not really like you can't really name. Can you name 10 like all-star players that can play like that?
Well, I mean, as far as the star players, the superstar players, I mean, how many you need? You only need 1 or 2 superstars to be able to run it. Because how many people was running when Jordan played? Only the Bulls, right? So what you telling me is that Kawhi could be in the role of what Jordan was doing and what Kobe was doing and what Shaq was doing. So can KD, so can Steph, so can Draymond, so can Kawhi. Who else? One more person. I think SGA as well. I think all them dudes can do it.
Yeah, well, maybe I said it wrong. Players can do it. I think the biggest thing is they don't want to do it. Is what I'm trying to say because they don't.
But I think all those players I named would want to do it though.
So you think right now is probably mainly like the coaching?
It's the coaching, because remember, every time somebody is asked about it, whether it was Shaq, Sasha Vujacic, or Kobe, they said you have to have the coach to teach it.
Right. True.
You have to have the coach to teach it, and that's the key thing, right? So, that's the big part.
My bad. My fault. What did you say at the end after you said coaching? My fault.
Yeah, you got to have a coach that wanna teach it, and that's the huge part. Because remember, for somebody like Michael Jordan to be a high IQ guy and Scottie to be a high IQ guy, as far as basketball, they said it took them 3 years to learn the triangle offense. The way these players are playing now, they want their rings now. They don't have 3 years to wait. Like the KD and LeBron is jumping from team to team and saying, "Get me a superstar now." I can't wait 3 years for I can't even wait 3 years for a co-star. More or less, wait 3 years to learn the offense.
Yeah, but yeah, when you were also talking about Melo, because I was going to say, and they were just talking about when they were trying to run it in New York. I was like, didn't they try to run the triangle in New York, but it wasn't effective? So that was just like my biggest thing, talking about like if players are gonna want to like run it and like want the ball out of their hands.
Yeah, but that was Melo. Melo is he wasn't thinking straight, and he was clashing with Phil, and like, you know, instead of having the mindset that Jordan had, and thank God Michael Jordan was coached by Dean Smith, who put some discipline in him and some basketball basics and fundamentals in him, and he had the ability to want to be coached. I mean, this is a guy that came from a 2-parent household, so he is used to dealing with an authority figure in a man in his life. So he didn't buck at Dean Smith or buck at Phil Jackson when they came to him with the idea that you're not going to get up. Like in North Carolina, Dean Smith didn't even let him score over 30 too many times. If they was winning the ball game, I'm not letting you go over 30 and make it seem like it's a one-man show. So he wouldn't let him average too much. He wouldn't let him score too much. He wouldn't let him take too many shots. And then when he got to Phil was like, I'm taking the ball out of your hand. He was mad about those things, but he still was coachable enough to say, I'm still going to commit to it 100% so it can work. And he made it work. Carmelo didn't show that ability, and he had to get humbled by somebody putting him on a bench when he got to Houston, and then him being out of the league because everybody's saying he won't conform to coaching, and then him have to beg to get a roster spot in LA with LeBron. Like, he went out sad because he was unwilling to sacrifice, and he should have made that sacrifice with Phil. Why wouldn't you? He showed up with 11 rings. So that's just my thoughts, man.
Yeah, no, I agree, but like, yeah, this is my biggest thing is just how many players do you think? I think there's a lot of players in the league right now that still have the mindset of Melo. Like, why would I want like to take the ball in hand? Like, granted, there's some like you were mentioning Kawhi. I think SJ would want to do it, but just how many players are just willingness to say I'm going to sacrifice my stats.
You don't need all of them. You only need one. We're not asking everybody to run a triangle in every team. We're asking one superstar. Could it work in today's era? The answer is yes. If you have the right coach to coach it, and if you have the right superstar to be in it. Those were the two caveats. Sasha said you gotta have a Kobe or Jordan player, and Kobe said you have to have the teacher. If you got those two things, you can run it.
Right. And but we also kind of seen it earlier, like in the early 2000s, instead of like players in the 90s, from the Bulls getting the little like curl for a midi, they'll swing it to players like Derek Fisher for the 3-ball. So you can most definitely run it right now.
Of course.
I don't know if they're talking about you can't run triangle offense right now.
Right. Of course.
That's just kind of my thoughts on it. Appreciate you taking my call, man.
Anytime, bro. Thanks, man. I love when you call in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. All right, let's get one or two more calls. I need Young Disciple, you can call in. Young Disciple or Light Work. Dr. Brian Brown, Music Incorporated. New to the channel. Thank you, Mel, for the info and insight on the game. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man, for sure. Caller from New York, cut your background. You got a lot of background noise. Try to quiet that down a little bit.
Is it good now?
Yeah, I can still hear that background. Are you in a plant facility?
Nah, it's loud AC, man.
Okay, all right, go ahead. You got 30 seconds since you got so much background on. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, man. Listen, I'm sorry that you had to spend your time doing this show on the Triangle, man. It's very unfortunate what LeBron is doing now. And I feel like he's really just trying to overshadow the game, right? In its entirety. Like, bro, you out of the playoffs. Let the young guys rock. Let the finals, you know what I'm saying? Let the finals play out. Work on your craft. Come back for next season. Like that's what you expect great players to do. And especially those who are trying to contend to be the greatest. Jordan is the greatest. We ain't even gonna, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got to spend no time going back and forth. I'm not debating with nobody, arguing with nobody about it. My thing is just like, yo, bro, just go be with your family and go get right over the summer and come back with a chip on your shoulder with something to prove.
Correct.
But every other day, throwing out these controversial statements for sound bites to try to, you know what I'm saying, take all of the attention away from the game. It's just corny, bro. Like, no one can respect that. And especially the place where he come from, like, especially those of us who come from, like, you know what I'm saying, like, impoverished neighborhoods, right? From the hood and stuff like that. He's from the slums of Akron. It's like, bro, did you really go this hard to make it this far to do this type of stuff? Let your game speak for your legacy. That's how it should be, right? It shouldn't be this constant, like, yo, I'm trying to be the best. And I make these bold, declarations about, that championship, that made me the greatest. And then when people didn't co-sign to that, now it's like, all right, now I got to find another way to approach this because I thought I was going to get people on my side. And when they run the polls, I thought I was going to get a higher, you know what I'm saying, a higher popularity vote towards being the GOAT, but that didn't happen. So now I got to find another approach. All right, let me start being a victim now. Right now it's all right. Damn, people calling me out for being a victim. Well, let me start attacking the past errors and say who couldn't do what and what. It's like, yo, bro, like finish your career and see what it's gonna be. And he still has. Listen, as much irreparable damage as he's done, as much irreparable damage he's done, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. If he played 2-3 more years and he just, yo, I'm gonna put my head down. I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna try to at least get another ring. I'm gonna try to, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna play this game with integrity and be a man with integrity, right? For my fan base, for the NBA fans, a much different thing with like a Jordan and Kobe didn't do, right? They didn't have their fans. They played for the world. It's like, yo, the world is watching me. Little girls who don't want Barbies and stuff for Christmas, they want to go to see Jordan or Kobe play, right? Like this is the mentality he doesn't have. It's an entitled mentality. It's like, bro, just go hard, be, you know what I'm saying? Be a high integrity player and man, and finish your career and see where the chips fall, right? But trying to manipulate yourself to be the GOAT, paying people under the table, false narratives and all that stuff, that's not gonna, bro, that's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it, bro. And we're not subscribing to that. And even mainstream media is starting to push back.
Yeah, they
even
pushing
some
back
of these
for
guys
sure.
starting to push back.
Yeah, no, they pushing back for sure, man. But he go keep trying, man. I never, every time he stooped lower and lower, I be shocked, man. I'm like, man, I didn't think he could go lower than some of the places he was already at, but here he go again. Now he's an expert on the triangle, man. But thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, no doubt. Yeah, man. I mean, he made a good point, man. Like he doing a lot, man, for no reason. Like, let your game speak for itself. Just play hoop. Like you don't have to construct all of these new avenues to get the word out that that's better suited for your legacy. That's all he's doing. He's like, man, I don't like the way they're telling the story. The people that's been telling the story, the media members, the journalists, and the fans, they've been telling the story the same way for years. This is how they tell the story. And now he don't like the way they tell the story, and he's trying to be part of the media and tell the story himself. When has a player ever took control and tried to tell his own story that we're coming up with? This is our barbershop talk. What we think about you is how we understand the game. You can't come out here and reteach us the game. We already know it. You can't come out here and try to unscramble scrambled eggs or reverse engineer our brain on how it's already programmed. It's already been programmed that we think about the game this way. And that way we think about it, you're not the best. You can't come out here and now try to tell us all the triangle offense wouldn't work in my era because my era is superior and rings don't matter and all this bull crap, man. Caller, what's up?
Hey, this is Sabrina.
What's going on, Sabrina? What's your thoughts?
Amen to the last caller. He said everything that I wanted to say.
Yeah, for sure. He was from New York too, so that's probably why.
Yeah. No, he just had potent things to say. LeBron is full of shit. He's going outside. He's truly going outside. You know, he believes that Hollywood crap, that bad press is good press. So he's just gonna keep pushing nonsense, this bullshit, just to keep himself relevant. Yeah. He's going outside. It's just hard to see it now, and he don't get it.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's burning all his bridges when he makes it to the Hall of Fame. Let's see how many of them are gonna actually go, because he has zero respect. Nobody respects. Nobody with any common sense respects that man.
I mean, the ones that do, it just surprises me why. Like, I just want to ask why. I want to ask why Gilbert. I mean, we go get into the soundbite of Gilbert and Tracy McGrady talking about rings don't matter all of a sudden. I mean, I just thought that was rich.
Oh, well, somebody that underachieved personally himself. He underachieved, so he has to say that. He has nothing else to say.
Yeah,
how you gonna have a losing record? Like Herm Edwards said, you play to win.
Absolutely.
He only played in the NBA for brand leadership. That's it. To be the top dog when it comes to brand. Because he never wanted to put in the work.
Anybody who didn't want to put in the amount of work and effort in season, off season, on the court, off the court, if you're not putting the type of work Kobe was putting in while you was playing in his era, you do not get an opportunity to get up on the freaking podium on ESPN and tell Stephen A. Smith that you would have got them rings if you played with Shaq too. Like, that was disrespectful for T-Mac. We go play that sound bite next, but that was so disrespectful for him to come out and decide his friend Brian James and what he Give It a Ring said. I just thought that was tasteless, man. I can't wait to get in that topic.
Nobody's friend. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
he's nobody's.
I'm talking about T-Mac. I'm talking about T-Mac.
They just the ones that's advocating him like T-Mac. They just messing up their own legacy. You know, you got your own children, your own grandkids that's gonna hear about this nonsense that you've been spewing. You should be thinking about that.
Yeah, they're making themselves look sad too. Like T-Mac, his legacy was already done. We can't go back and fix that. You retired the way you retired. Don't come back and try to get on the bandwagon with Give It a Ring and LeBron to reinforce what your legacy is. They already did he get in top 75? I think he did. He got in the Hall of Fame.
He did.
Top 75 Hall of Fame. Be satisfied with that. Those are the greats. Those are the greats.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Those are the greats. And then the people who voted you in the top 75 in the Hall of Fame are the very people that you're trying to re-educate on what greatness is. But but we got time to get into there on this next topic though. I appreciate the call, Sabrina.
I got a topic for you. I got some information for you about that nonsense he spewed about not going to Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame.
Okay, go ahead.
They didn't scrub it from the internet where he was, him and Draymond Green and Fred Van Cleef with Drake in Canada. He's such a narcissist. He used his son's illness as bullshit, and that's all it was bullshit. I got all the links.
That's crazy.
I sent it to Sports T, but I didn't want her. I'm really glad that she didn't do it during the season.
That's crazy.
He's such a narcissist that he used his own son's illness. The man is disgusting. He's so full of shit. It's outright disgusting.
Yeah, interesting.
And he needs to get exposed for it. I'm going to send you the links. We'll talk about it another time. Let me get off the phone so you can get another caller in.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Thank you.
All right. Love you guys and keep up the good work.
No doubt.
Because you educate me every time you're on there.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. Later.
All right.